Hello, it's VOD review time, and Ali is gonna be Ana. Alright, I just want to see some offensive nades, so let's get into it. So you see this right now, scoping in is fine and all, but if there is a sniper, which you don't know yet, I mean, I guess there's an Ashe, or a Hanzo, yeah, you can get screwed because, well, Hanzo, like, alright, so Ana, when she's crouched and scoped in, moves a lot slower, and she's a lot easier to hit on the head since her hitbox is moved a little bit forward. So it's not advisable to stay scoped for too long, but you should probably learn to quick scope if you don't know already, or you should be accustomed to it. Good anti-nade, just making sure. If you can't hit squishies, it's fine. Quick scoping is definitely an alternative, and it's a good alternative since you don't have to waste too much time on them. So as long as you just make sure you no scope on tanks mostly, you can move a lot more fluidly, and you could also be more aware of what's around you. Anyways, sleep dart, you literally just shot at a shield. I'm not really sure what you're trying to do. What you could have done is you could have tried to sleep the Moira that's to your right, but I'm not positive. Well, Moira died anyways. Doesn't matter here. Again, that time I fed, that's my bad, but I mean, like, still doesn't change that you should be unscoped every now and then. Just quick scope right here. That's good. I like where this is going here. Your McCree was half, and your Zarya was already being healed by Mercy. You don't really need to switch to the Zarya. I like where this is going. You might want to back away from your team since Ana is a long-range healer. Ana's a long-range healer again. You really don't want to be next to your team if you could avoid it at all. So what I'd do is I'd be behind you. I'd probably have been up the stairs trying to get a good angle right now. You could also hide around that corner if you really need to, around the corner behind you, but either or. Just being on point limits your effective range. Just make sure that if you do decide to take my advice, make sure you're at least in the range of support if you need it. You probably would have gotten healed after the Junker got rezzed. I would have saved the anti for if they push in the next 8 seconds. Again, you should see their team comp, and you should know by now that they have an Ashe and a Hanzo. I really wouldn't be scoped in this entire time. That's a nice nade. However, if you're gonna use any defensive nades, you want to use them for sort of impending damage. And right now, where I am right now, when you nade me, I'm not gonna take a whole lot of damage in the next time. So it's really no point nading me. You could just let Mercy heal me, or heal me yourself. Not a bad nade, given that they can push, and you don't really have too much to use it on since they probably won't push, probably. So you're gonna get back, but you never know.
It's going to be okay.
You don't need to shoot, hey Joker, who's already full health. Oh.
Fire at will.
You don't need to be moving up too much further than this. This is good. Good peel on the Mercy. I like that. You have a sleep dart. You could have slept there. Moirs are really easy to sleep because they like strafing left or right for a good period of time. So they won't ever like be really sudden in their changes, from what I've noticed. And so when they're going right and they start going left, you can predict them to go left and you'll be fine. Or just get close to them and just look at them and flick it. Either or. Hiding behind the rock is a nice alternative, and in your situation it's probably the best thing you could do. However, there are ways you could just flat out avoid that. However, you need to back up right now since you see a Ryan in your direction and he's definitely coming at your ass. He's not that used to, he's not that close to you where you need to sleep him. You could probably let him get a lot closer, and if he's really taking that route. People are easier to sleep when they're up close, and they're more likely to attack when they're closer, especially Ryan, who's a melee hero. I like that you grabbed health pack before using your nade. It shows that you have good ideas of preserving your cooldowns on Ana, which is very important. Getting actually, I don't really have too much to say on this. Just keep in mind crit targets and whatnot. Right here, I'd probably nano Zarya probably. You always want to keep a tank alive, and nano Zarya can shred. Right here, I would probably throw a nade at the wall towards Zarya to make sure she stays alive, even if the bubble gets broken. But that's just what I'd do.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Good nano. Ashe is on you, and you have to understand that. I would react by going back and grabbing a health pack for a quick sec, so you don't burn out. And you'd probably have to throw a nade on you, but you'd probably have to do that anyways. And grabbing a health pack would stop the fire, but throwing a nade on you wouldn't. See, as you threw a nade on you, you're still burning. You're just gonna end with the same amount of health if you're not dead by the end of this nade. And I think there are some shots you need to hit. And I'm not saying your aim's particularly bad, because it's not. But I think that you need to be aware of what you can do. Did you? Wait a minute. Let's just watch this back really quick. Alright, grab. Did you just use a nade on yourself when you're already at full health? Alright, that whole thing happens. See, you saw your Ryan crit. You should be scoping it right now. You should jump around the corner scoped in. Just do a quick scope and maybe keep it in longer if you have to, but still. Those two shots could have meant stuff, but I'm not gonna... People miss shots, and that's like just something to understand, I guess. Oh, okay, never mind. You're at 100 health. I thought you were at I thought you were full. All right, and by then you should get away. You should just jump off the map. But your call either or. It looks like no one's chasing you, so not a bad ideal, anyways. Alright, you should understand they're probably close to ults. I'd assume they're running a shatter. But I was, at this point in the game, I wasn't sure about anything else.
Heroes never die.
Beautiful anti. That's really good. Good sleep. Yeah, staying back here is a good idea. You shouldn't be on point. You have a tank on point. You don't need to be here at all. I'm not here to try and micromanage anything. Just to point that out right now. You need to learn the trajectory of your nades. They could be a little bit better. Also, I'm pretty sure the Rhine was graphed up, and you could throw a nade to slot it in below the graph, and you could nano anti everyone there. Would have made things a little bit better, but you got the same result anyways, so it wasn't too much for an issue. You see your tanks going up top, therefore you should go up top, so you could have any sort of value. Alright, if I don't see a huge anti here, I'm gonna be really mad. You see that Pharah? You should have anticipated the Pharah ulting. You just need to think about those things. Like that Pharah was so clear that she's gonna ult. Basically, when Pharah's like the ult when they go up top, you should have jumped down by now. You could have prevented that tick. And I know you got killed by the Pharah, but you're also walking in a straight line from the Pharah. So yeah, just try to do some strafing if you're getting shot by a Pharah. Again, this is a hindsight thing. I'm not trying to micromanage you, but just keep that in mind. That's a good nano. Sleep was there. That's okay. I died here, and that is partially my fault. You should have antied that before, but you usually wanna anti hogs as soon as possible, but not like immediately. So when you see them get a little bit low, they'll start to heal. So just keep that in mind. They'll cap it, which is fine. That's not the end of the world, right? Are you still Ana? Yeah, you stay Ana for a bit, don't you? Alright. Here again, you should probably be quick scoping. Yeah, you should like really be quick scoping. I'm not gonna say this the entire game, although I might. But like, it's really important that you start getting the habit of quick scoping. You hear the Moira. I mean, at least I heard her from behind. And she's probably behind. Which is probably how she killed her Mercy. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, no, it's a little bit rough from there. But you probably should have saved that nade for yourself since your Mercy is dead. Since you dying could actually end the push. You have 36 health. I doubt you'll survive that much longer, but you need to get on that Azaria, which you probably do. There you go, that's good. There's a Moira assassinating you though. You should have been a bit more aware, but again, I'm not, that's just, at that point it's just nitpicking, so I apologize for that. Let's just fast forward because you get the idea of what happens. Here, I'm just gonna do this again. Oh, something interesting's kinda happening. Alright. That's not a bad anti at all. Not a bad sleep attempt either. Good anti. I like that. Good. I like that you're you're not scoping as much, and I know you're closer, but still you need to get in the habit of it eventually. Your Rhine's alone, so you might want to help him if that's at all possible. Now it's a good time to scope in. Taking on the turret like he asked. Good job. Hit a shot on a Mercy. There you go. To hit a nade on the Rhine. You want to be throwing a nade at the Rhine. You want to throw it to the left of him since he's got to be looking at your Rhine, or the Zarya who's full charge. So throwing it at the left would almost guarantee a connection. Rhine will always look at wherever his threat is, and so whether it's another Rhine just beating up on him or any sort of DPS that might be terrorizing him. For example, if a Sombra comes up behind him, he's bound to look behind him, right? So just keep that in mind when you make nades, because they can be, your team can live or die by nades, depending on how it goes. Yeah, that's all I have to say on that. Now, it's important to be able to know when to anti. Basically save antis for a tank, I guess. The Widow shot, so I would be kind of careful. Like, to the point where I'd be like considering dropping down because of that Widow, but the Widow's dead. Moira, you don't want to nade yourself immediately. You want to try to sleep the Moira if you can. However, you miss the sleep, and now you're forced to drop down in front of the Zarya, which is probably not going to be met well. Your Mercy should have been healing you. Maybe she's just unaware at the time, or maybe she had something better to do, but still. And this is when the push dies. I'm gonna take this moment to drink some water, because my throat is about to die.
Let's get you back out there.
Alright. That's some good agua. I'm Spanish, I know. Alright. So, just fast forward until you're in our decent team fight. Yeah, their Moira dies, their Moira gets res, your Rein pushes in, you guys cannot get in somehow, but you can do a lot of things to get in. However, I don't think your Rein dying is one of them. So now all you want to do is just wait for a nade, or a sleep. Yeah, you could just, honestly, I would jump and try to hit a sleep dart. You guys want to try to have the element of surprise here. And sleeping the Moira is an easy way to ensure sleeping the Moira is a really easy way to ensure a good start to a fight. That sleep was okay, it just wouldn't have done anything if it happened. You always want to make sure your abilities are used impactfully. You should realize that there's a tracer behind you from all the footsteps and the recall. Or above you, I mean. So keep that in mind. I wouldn't have used sleep there. I would not even... Alright. I would not even have scoped in while healing the Junkrat. He is standing still, and I'm pretty sure you can hit standing still targets while hip firing. I know that is in your abilities, your skill set. So probably should have done that while walking forward. That could have helped your success a lot more. Also, when you scope in, you shoot tracers. Your shot has like little has like a line when you aim in, and that means it's hit scan. But the con to that is that everyone knows where you are. Here, I'm just fast forward 30 seconds. Things are happening. Yeah, Tracer, you should be... Alright, Tracer died, that's good. Here, I would try to, honestly, I would just throw a nade in there, or I'd try to throw it to the right. Good attempt. I like it. That's also a good enough nano. At this point, you need to drop down and grab a health pack. You're not going to survive this Moira. You choose death over a Moira, or you choose death over trying to save yourself. And you're a healer, you're supposed to save yourself. Just keep that in mind. Urian tries popping the fuck off, but it doesn't happen. Alright, now we're gonna keep going.
Go. I'll keep you healed.
Alright. You guys are starting to grip up again. I like where you are right now. Alright. I like where you are right now. I wouldn't have hit the sleep if I shot it. I'm not even gonna lie, so keep that in mind. You're fine. Right now, I would honestly go over to where you're looking at, like over onto the bridge part, so under main. Throw a anti up to the Rein, and then either force a bubble out, or anti the Rhine, which both would help your team fight. Sleeping the Rhine right here could be pretty beneficial, but it could also not be beneficial. I do this a lot, but you don't want to react to sleep because you don't know necessarily where the tracer is, and if you miss a sleep, it's like a 12-second cooldown, so you're basically fucked if you don't have it. And since you don't have your anti-nade, you don't really have anything to protect you, so good luck if you miss it. However, you might have missed that, but you also have a soldier who got a quad with assault. Alright, so, basically, if you just get a nade, if you just get an anti-nade, we win. Like, that's basically what it's gonna boil down to. Or not what it's boil down to, but it'd help a lot. Like, a lot. Hey, you see the Bastion. No, you saw the Bastion like 5 seconds ago. You could just anti him. That would have helped. The threat of the anti will make other people play different. Your both your tank line is anti. They're not gonna be able to do much. So your best bet is just throwing an anti right here, which I'm pretty sure you do. That's a really good anti. Keep that in mind. You're doing great. But you do need to sleep the Bastion. You have a sleep dart. You need to use everything in your kit to stop the Bastion. I love playing Ana against Bastion just because she is really good at shutting him down when your teammates work well. I don't need to point that out. However, you should be focusing on saving yourself instead of killing a Zara, like further killing a Rhine, I guess. I wouldn't shoot at this Bastion because I would do everything in my power to not alert him that I'm here. Right here, this is a beautiful anti-opportunity. Like, beautiful anti-opportunity. Just throw it at the Rhine, get rid of a shield. Okay. That's good sleep. I don't mind it. Now, since you are purely existing, I would get out of the Bastion's line of sight. I wouldn't necessarily say you could have done too much about that, so don't worry about it.
Initiating match.
Group up with me.
Alright, so basically, yeah, good anti. Pretty sure I told you that one. That's a good anti. You always just throw it, or sometimes you might wait a second because they're not all gonna teleport immediately. The Sim's always gonna teleport immediately, but you always want to anti the tanks. But so keep that in mind. Just throw it. Wait a second, like 2 seconds, and then throw it. Yeah, you good. That's a good nade.
60 seconds remaining.
Watching your back.
Feel free to tell me that I'm not in good LOS if I'm ever not.
This is not the end. Healing enough.
Honestly, I would look for a really cheeky sleep dart on the Moira. If you do, the entire push is shut down, and they're gonna have to wait till like a last minute effort if they are already engaged.
Go. I'll keep you here.
You have you have your nano, I mean, and your Pharah rocket. Use her rocket boost, and so I feel like she would be targeting you, but I wouldn't be surprised if she wasn't.
30 seconds.
Yeah, there it is.
Heroes never die. Get back in the fight.
That happens. which is unfortunate. But you gotta keep in mind it's still relatively winnable. But your chances of winning now not only decrease, but they're solely dependent on your ability to nano the Ryan, keep him up, and then get a good nade.
You're powered up. Get in there.
You should have just jumped down like preemptively. You don't need to like worry about too much. Nano the Ryan, and then just you'd be able to sleep the Zarya pretty easily. Just keep in mind, general rule of thumb, if in doubt, with sleeps at least, if in doubt, just walk closer while you're sleeping, and it makes it easier. No need to flick your sleeps like that. Most of them are pretty fine anyways. You're being shot by a Pharah? Yeah, I'd be running too.
10 seconds to
That's unfortunate. But there's not too much you could do here. I think that's the end of the VOD. Like your VOD maybe. Oh no, you're Lucio, sick. Alright, let's go do your Lucio for a few seconds. Good. Yeah, that's amazing. So you drew here. What are some key takeaways? I mean, like, key takeaways I guess would be I don't know, look for better nades. Try to be a bit more creative with your spots. You don't need to throw them directly at the character. As long as they're near the character, they'll hit. So that means that you're not only open from, you don't need to only look for like ceiling shots like I always tell you about, or high walls or arches, but you could also look for nades from the sides. Also, you need to try to not scope in as much, or at least stay scoped in, because you're gonna get punished for that severely the further up you go. Like severely. Yeah. And that's honestly all I have to say. I think you did a pretty good job overall. I think your best quality with Ana is trying to direct her space. I think you're really good at keeping your space with Ana. I think your movement patterns become really predictable if you get pressured. We could tone that down a bit though. Just remember that although you're playing against masters at this point, they're still pretty easily to trick. Just do some strafing, you'll be fine. I mean, another thing is realizing when sleeps are valuable, when they aren't. I guess pretty self-explanatory, I guess. Yeah. Why not? Alright. Anyways, have a good one. If you ever watch this, I hope you enjoy. And yeah.